Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Map It Forward, friends. Today we're going to be talking about the pitfalls of cancel culture and group thinking. Right now in the history of our industry, we're experiencing some extraordinary shit when it comes to the way that people are talking to each other. And look, I just think we need to address it in a way that by breaking it down and helping people understand exactly what cancel culture is, exactly what group thinking is. Because I have a sneaky suspicion that there are some people that are doing it just because they saw other people doing it and thought that it was okay. And in case that's the case, I thought, well, it would be important for us, or it would be remiss for me as the person who is, hoping to set a standard of independent thinking. The best way that I can encourage people to get to a place to think for themselves is by helping them see and break down ideologies that they may have just naturally become a part of, rather than having had an intentional journey into that way of thinking. So, what is cancel culture? What is group thinking? Let's start there. So, cancel culture is when you see somebody doing something and just decide that because of the way that they behaved, the way that they posted, something that they said, something they shared, an idea that they have, an idea that they support, any reason at all, you decide that you're going to cancel them. And you might also go to the extent of getting a group together of people that cancel that person out. And I have witnessed firsthand and watched people completely cancel out some people in our community, and it is brutal. Cancel culture is a byproduct of group thinking. So what is group thinking? Group thinking historically has been, and some more traditional examples of group thinking are things like being a part of one or another of the political parties, or being a part of a religious group, and thinking the way that group does or thinks purely based on that group's ideology without challenging or applying your own thinking to the ideologies of the group. For example, believing some of the things that are written in a book in any particular religion, and not asking yourself, do I actually agree with the way that they treat women or men or gays, or pick a minority group? Do I believe and agree with the way that my religion tells me that I'm supposed to treat these people? If you just blindly treat a group of people a certain way because you're told to treat them that way by the religion you belong to, or by the political party that you belong to, that's group thinking. And staying staunchly loyal to anything is not the qualities of an independent thinker. So why is it important to be an independent thinker? Especially now more than ever, independent thinking is an asset, tool. There's a whole bunch of words you could use, but it is a weapon that you need in an information age where not knowing the integrity behind the information that you're being shown is hugely a concern now. So when you're being shown things, when you belong to a group and you are staunchly a part of that group, whether that be Christian or Muslim or Republican or liberal or whatever you staunchly belong to, if you make that information a part of your posting on social media, if you make it a part of your Google searching, that you leave behind little cookies, and they are like little crumbs on the internet that allow people who know how to manipulate marketing to target you for specific information. And they will specifically show you narratives, whether it be through clickbait or social media posts or advertisements or whatever it is. They will show you information, articles, products, ideologies that will push you to feel one way or another. If you are influenceable, and all the research shows the people who have a propensity towards belonging to groups are people who can be influenced. And if you're somebody who can be influenced, what that means is that these people, whether it be the Russians or the Chinese or the Americans or the other side of the group that you belong to, will be able to target you and influence the way that you vote, the way that you spend your money, the information that you share on social media, the way that you have conversations. All of these things make you highly influenceable, and they are doing it, and it has been going on for a long time. It has been going on longer before social media and the internet were around through print media, but the internet and social media and all the things that you do when you're searching online make you a much easier target. Okay. So why is that important to understand when it comes to independent thinking? And what relationship does independent thinking have towards that? Let's apply it to the coffee industry. Now, let's say that you're somebody who believes that we need to pay farmers more money for coffee. And you think that the best way that you can advocate for farmers is to pay more money for coffee. If you're somebody who's going out there and putting that information out there, you become a target for certain people through your virtue signaling. And you can listen to the episode that we had on virtue signaling. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't be paying farmers more money. But what we have seen as a result of people saying, go and pay more money for coffee, like spend more money on coffee, is the opposite of that, which is don't buy cheap coffee. And we have seen people come up against people online, and I've witnessed this again and again and again, people getting online and saying and shaming people who buy commercial coffee. They are going out there and using their social media to blast out to the world, don't buy cheap coffee. That's an incorrect statement. Don't buy cheap coffee is going to crush our industry. The correct statement is don't underpay for coffee. You can buy cheap coffee. You should buy cheap coffee if that's the kind of coffee that your customers want to drink, but pay a fair price for it. What they mean is cheap coffee is commercial coffee. Make sure that you're buying the commercial coffee if that's the kind of product that you're selling, but be sure to pay a fair price for it. Now, an independent thinker can look at a statement like, don't buy cheap coffee, and say, well, actually, I understand the problem that they think they're addressing and they've got it wrong. An independent thinker will go and explore what that statement actually means. They will find resources like the conversations that happen on the Map It Forward podcast and on other really great podcasts in the coffee industry, and they will try and understand, why are people talking about these issues so much right now? And by trying to understand the issues, they won't be likely to be tricked by clickbait. They will read beyond a headline. They will understand that when they see certain buzzwords they know that somebody's trying to trick them into doing something or thinking a certain way. The more independent a thinker you are, the less likely the wizardry and fuckery of the marketing world and of people that are trying to get you to act a certain way can work on you. The less likely you are to be tricked. And this is why it is important for you to be an independent thinker. When you see people doing mass walkouts in coffee shops, you won't just look at it and say, and have an opinion of it based off what you're being told en masse by a group of people. You will go and have conversations because you're an independent thinker. You'll talk to people that were involved in that. You will formulate your own opinions, and you won't feel it necessary to give in to the pressure of the crowds. Now, to my mind, our job as a brand, Mapper Forward, is to encourage as many people as possible to be independent thinkers in the industry. The reason we want people to be independent thinkers in the industry is because independent thinkers are the people who drive innovation. And they are the people who can have the enormous courage that's required, particularly in the coffee industry, to take action on the innovation and on the innovative ideas that they have. And there's a lot that needs to be fixed in the coffee industry. But people tend not to want to undergo the pressures of innovating in the coffee industry because of the backlash that tends to come from innovating in our industry. People want to destroy innovators in our industry. And so I would like to encourage you to start the journey of becoming an independent thinker, and know that being an independent thinker means that you have to disassociate yourself from being told what to think. It requires you to start the lifelong journey of being informed. It requires you to make decisions about what you truly believe, not what you're told to believe, and to understand why you believe that. And more than anything, it requires you to let go every single moment, every single day of needing to be right. You become a student of life, and that is where the beauty of independence in your thinking starts to flourish with regards to its rewards. I really hope that this encourages people to stop finding security in amongst a group of people that are not doing you personally. They're not going to do your life any good. They're going to do the agenda of the group the best good. And so when you get a group of independent thinkers together, the one beautiful thing that you start to see that you don't get in group thinking is you get independent thinkers elevating each other. They celebrate each other's independence. They encourage discourse. They elevate each other's ideas, and they feed each other with different things to consider. And that's the kind of food that you never, ever get sick of feeding on. I hope this has been helpful, and I encourage you to be an independent thinker. Peace, love, and peanut butter, friends. Have an amazing rest of your day.